Hello friends and fellow gamers, it's MKxJUMP here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at SS heroes in Angel Legion. What are they, how do you build them, and what abilities can you give them when you finally get a hero to SS? Let's go find out. By this point you probably already know that there are many different types of heroes in the game, the highest being S tier heroes. However, as we already know as well, not all S tier heroes are created equally. However, all S tier heroes can be upgraded to SS, but you're probably asking yourself, how do I do that? Well, as you evolve a hero, you take them through the copper stars, through the silver stars, and then finally to gold stars. If we take a look at this Swordmaster here, you'll see that I now need to feed S tier heroes. S tier heroes are depicted as a hex with a yellow border behind, which is how you know that an S tier hero is required. First off, to get them to gold 2, you require 1 S tier hero, and then the number of S tier heroes you need increases as you go through to 2, 3, 4, then 5 gold stars on your hero. Once you get to gold star 5, that's when you need an SS gene. And SS genes are obtained from the cabin. Just like when you need a normal S tier gene to advance a hero into silver and then into gold, you will also need SS genes to take them further. So if we go to advance, this is where you have the option to not get a yellow bordered hex, but instead a red border. And this red border means the hero is SS. So once you have a hero at gold 5, we will require an SS gene. So let me show you how to make one. If I go and take a copy of Phantom Blade can be made to SS tier. As you can see here, you are given a hero that you have to use to advance a hero to SS tier. It requires multiple S tier heroes, and this specific hero is very important. Every single hero that you can choose requires a different hero. So as you can see with all these different heroes, each one needs someone different. There's actually a great piece of information which breaks down every single hero you need available on our Discord. If you want to know how to join our Discord, you can find a link down below in the description. So let's take Phantom Blade for example. Phantom Blade requires a copy of Time Guardian or Havas to be upgraded to SS tier. And as well, I'm going to need 3 other S tier heroes, so let's go find some to put in. Well, I have a gene here, so I definitely should use this gene, because that's not going to use any of my hero copies. And looking at who I have available, well, I don't use Shy Girl, and I don't think she's that great, so I'm going to put her in. And finally, I need someone else. Well, I'm actually going to go with Stormwitch, because I already have had a lot of copies of Stormwitch. My Stormwitch is already gold, and I don't really feel like I need to upgrade my Stormwitch too much, so I am going to put in a copy of Stormwitch. So now let's advance this copy of Phantom Blade to SS tier by pressing the advance button down below and confirming. So there we go. That is a copy of Phantom Blade. Brilliant. So let me now take this to my Phantom Blade here. So my Phantom Blade is already SS tier, and this is something else you might need to know, that actually, when a hero is SS tier, you now need multiple copies of SS tier versions of them to advance them. So once I got her to SS tier, you have to take the hero through the ranks again. So it's copper for the first half, and now she's copper 5, I want to take her to silver, and that will require another SS copy of her, the one we just made. So let's awaken her now. And just like that, guys, I have her to Silver 1. Nice. Now, a great thing which you can unlock when a hero becomes SS tier is the talent tree. Talents are abilities that a hero has that make them unique, that you can customize to make the hero much more suited to a specific purpose. For this, there are 3 trees: Overlord, Partner, and Formation. So let's start by breaking down Overlord. The first choice in Overlord is Alert, which gives your hero the ability, after they've been affected by a negative state, they can increase their resistance by 50% for 2 rounds, which means it increases the chance that they don't get affected by a negative ability, which is very nice. So let's say you got silenced, it means you probably won't get stunned by a stun effect, which is very helpful. On the topic of silence, there's Holy Word, which gives you silence resistance plus 80%. There's only one hero in the game that can silence right now, and that's Dragon Knight, but Dragon Knight is exceptionally common in PvP. So Holy Word is a really good choice on a hero that is focused on PvP and doesn't want to get silenced by opposing Dragon Knights. As you go further, you can increase other abilities. So for Overlord, we can increase hit, we can increase crit, and finally, we get to this next stage, so there's Crack Shot. If the hero is not affected by an artifact bonus, so that means if they're not in Maya's aura, so if she's got the scythe, they're not on the front row with her. If she's got the rifle, they're not on the back line with her. And if she has the katana, they're not in the same column as her. They will get a bonus to their hit by 15%. The same thing here is with weakness detection, which offers the very similar thing, but instead of giving hit, this gives crit 15%. So immediately you can tell that the Overlord tree is designed for heroes that aren't in the same column or row as Maya, depending on what artifact you're using. So basically, if you want to start giving a hero abilities from the Overlord tree, they need to be a hero that you don't run alongside Maya's artifact. As we go further, there's more increases to hit and crit, so they're things that you can gain from the Overlord tree, which is nice. And here we go now, Unfaltering. Whenever an ally is defeated, their own hit increases by 10%, stacking up to 3 times. That's nice. So as your team die, your hero gets more accurate, and as well as Revenge, which offers a similar thing, but with crit. So again, it's giving you hit, and it's giving you crit. It makes this hero very strong and very good at dealing a lot of damage. Next we have hit 3 and then crit 3, so obviously now you can increase your chances to hit and crit even more. There's Unbeaten Courage, which means when there are 6 allies in the formation but only they survive, you increase their damage by 35%. So this basically turns your hero into a big solo truck. Basically they don't want to be under Maya's influence, they don't want to be alongside their teammates because your teammates are dead. They're going to help you get to the very end. So this is very good actually on a guard hero who can tank up, stay alive, and then nuke your opponents at the end. There's also Lone Wolf, which is a very similar thing, but increases its damage by 100% in the next round. So you can see the difference. Unbeaten Courage is 35% until the end of the fight, whereas Lone Wolf is 100% extra damage until the end of the next round. So 2 very different abilities. Lone Wolf is good for short-term fast damage. You've got Unbeaten Courage for long-term getting more damage in. Finally, there's Hit 4 and Crit 4 to increase your hit and crit even further. So the Overlord tree definitely feels like something for a hero that wants to stand out on their own and not be under the influence of Maya's artifact. The next is Partner. So Partner combos you with your elves and your UAVs, which are things that you can give to benefit your heroes, and it unlocks a little bit more potential from your hero. So Healing Mastery is where we begin. This increases your crit resistance by 5% when equipped with the UAV Rescuer. This gives you attack mastery, which increases your crit by 5% when equipped with the UAV the Hormone. And finally, this one reduces the initial cooling of the drone by 1 and increases its crit resistance by 15% when equipped with the Protector. So depending which UAV you're using on your hero will depend which one you want to give. Genuinely, I like Rescuer because Rescuer gives you healing, which is very, very helpful. However, I'm actually drawn a little bit to defense mastery because crit resistance 15% is huge if you want to avoid getting critted. So I actually think this is also pretty good. I'm pretty sure you can get to a stage where you have multiple UAVs on a hero, so I think this is going to really be something much more for the long term, just to see how beneficial this could be in the future. Right now I prefer using Rescuer because it heals my heroes in Simulated Alpha, but perhaps as I level up and get further, Defense Mastery might be one to keep an eye on. Additionally, you can gain benefits to crit resistance and crit, which is all good stuff. Coordinated defense is nice. When the elf shield is present, you reduce the non-critical damage taken by 20%, so that's giving you extra resistance, which actually increases the chance that your elf shield stays up, which is very nice. There's Contract Elite, which is when the elf shield is present, the damage taken will not be higher than the value that that shield could cover. So it basically means you cannot be hit more than the shield is giving you protection for. So you could take a massive chunk of damage and all you do is lose the shield. You wouldn't get any overflow damage into your hero's health. We have another level of crit resistance and crit. And next, the Elf Messenger. So when the elf shield is present, you improve your own crit resistance by 10% for every star level of the elf. That's really good. Increasing crit resistance is already huge because you can reduce the chance that lots of abilities stun, and as we covered in our team building video, you'd know that Time Guardian and also Deadly Shadow really want to crit your heroes because that's going to stun them. So actually crit resistance on frontline heroes is going to be super handy. In addition, there's Resonator, so when the elf shield is present, you improve your own crit by 10% for every star level of the elf, so that's also really handy. Increasing crit is huge because, as we covered, we can look at this the reverse way round now. I think actually Deadly Shadow and Time Guardian want to crit, so this is good on them still too. Next, you get more crit resistance and some more crit, and Elf Master. When the elf shield coverage is higher than 75%, you increase your own resistance by 60%, and resistance gives you immunity to pretty much everything, whether it's stun, silence, just beautiful. Being resistant is very nice, so it's pretty cool that you can get this from a passive. Then moving on further, there's more crit resistance, and finally more crit. So this seems definitely like a tree for a frontline hero that isn't benefiting from Maya necessarily, and doesn't want to get critted. So this is good. I like this. You don't want to get this hero stunned. You don't want to get this hero out of the picture. So this is actually quite good on a CC hero in all fairness, because there's a lot of great benefits. Crit resistance is huge because you don't want to get stunned. You want your CC hero to go off. And also increasing their crit is really nice because a lot of CC heroes require crit. So I can see this being really nice on a lot of CC heroes. So this is cool. I like this. Partner is good. The final tree, and the actual tree I'm using on my Phantom Blade, is Formation. So this is for heroes that are benefiting from Maya's aura bonus, and as you hopefully know if you've ever seen my team in action, I use a Katana Maya and put Phantom Blade behind her so they share the same column. So basically, if you look here, Katana Synchronization, this increases the crit of the hero by 10% when they receive the bonus of the artifact Hero Katana. So that's basically giving my Phantom Blade 10% crit, which is really nice. In addition, there's crit here, and there's also dodge, so you can give the hero dodge and crit, which is really, really cool. And by the way, guys, don't think that you can't get both of the ones on the same level. You totally can, which is perfect. So I could actually press learn here and pick that up. I actually have 8 points because I got 8 points that I can use for my talent tree from advancing my hero to the silver stars. So that's pretty useful. That's the thing you might need to know, guys, that actually there is a limited number of talent points you can get, and you get them by advancing your hero and giving them further stars. So the more stars your hero has, obviously, the more talents you can give them in the talent tree. The next ability here is Formation Enhancement. Your hero will increase their own resistance by 45% when 3 heroes in its row are affected by an enemy skill. So let's say you have 3 heroes in its row that are affected by Silence. That would actually require all in its row. That's all 3 heroes in the row. That's a little bit of a interesting ability, because for it to be good, your opponent has to have heroes that can put negative effects on your party. So let's say, for example, you're not running anyone that can put negative effects, like no one's running burn or damage over time or anything like that, then actually this ability wouldn't come up. So I actually think this ability existing makes heroes that do damage over time not that great in the PvP meta. But that's just in a PvP sense. If you're in PvE, loads of levels in adventure mode and loads of levels in the PvE areas of the game are gonna debuff you. So actually, this can be very good in PvE. The next one is Hold the Line. You reduce the damage taken by 15% when 3 of your heroes are affected by an enemy skill. So it's the same thing. Being affected by an enemy skill is going to give you this benefit. So that's pretty neat. Next is Crit 2 and Dodge 2, so we can increase our crit and dodge even further. And Fight Together. Each adjacent hero will increase their crit by 12%. That's awesome. So it gives me the impression that these heroes want to be in the middle of your formation so that there can be heroes adjacent in front and on either side. So that's really, really handy. And Team Alert is each adjacent hero increases their dodge by 8%. So again, this is nice. This is giving your heroes a benefit for just being there, which is really nice. So enhancing your formation is really, really good. Next, we get more crit and more dodge, which of course is always good. And the next ability is Electronic Interference. When there are 3 adjacent heroes, the energy required by the enemy to release the active skill is increased by 1. This ability is nuts, right? Whilst there are 3 adjacent heroes, so I assume that means 1 in front and 1 on either side, so that's your 3 adjacent. You can increase the cost of an enemy's active skill by 1? Nuts. So you want your middle 2 heroes to have this ability because it's going to make it really hard for your opponent to use their combo skills. I just love this. This is just a fantastic skill, and it blows me away. I'm amazed this is in the game. Increasing the amount of energy that your opponent needs to use their active skills is bonkers. Like, it's nuts. Combine that with someone like Butterfly Girl who can energy steal. You can do some crazy shenanigans to your opponent and just make them unable to use their active skills. And I think that's definitely a potential meta team in PvP. Rifle Maya teams can potentially dominate with this skill, but that's definitely an end game thing. You need to have this established on 2 heroes, and Electronic Interference costs 16 talent points to get there, so you're not going to get it anytime soon, but when you reach late game, that's potentially something to aim for. And the final part of this tree is Crit 4 and Dodge 4, so you're getting more dodge and more crit. So what do I think is the best for these talent trees? Well, if you have a solo hero that can run their own, deal lots of damage, and is probably going to stay alive, Overlord is the one for them. Early game, I think silence resistance is huge whilst people have Dragon Knights rocking around, so that's really, really, really helpful. However, I think as you establish yourself a little bit more, you can actually give yourself resistances just from passives. For example, look here, Formation Enhancement gives resistance. Even though you do need to be affected by a negative ability, you can still get resistance from these trees in other ways. But nothing's going to compare to 80% silence resistance just in early game when the most horrible hero you have to face is probably a Dragon Knight. In other stages, I think Partner can be really good because just gaining those abilities and that added crit resist is just so helpful. Increasing your crit resist means it's going to be harder and harder and harder for heroes like Deadly Shadow or Time Guardian to get their abilities off on your team, and I think some people would think, oh, Deadly Shadow's so overpowered. When she crits on you, that's an 100% chance to stun. I mean, come on, dude, just crit resistance is going to stop Deadly Shadow critting, so it's going to really hurt Deadly Shadow. Deadly Shadow is only good when people don't prepare for her, and if you guys know what you're doing and you're adding that crit resistance to your frontline heroes, it's going to make Deadly Shadow not that great if you've built your team properly. And finally, Formation is just brilliant for the heroes that are benefiting from Maya, and just look at that ability. Again, let's just bring it up. Electronic Interference, being able to increase the active skill cost of your opponent's abilities is ridiculous. I think it's phenomenal. It's probably the best ability in the game. You definitely need two heroes that can benefit from this on your lineup, because if you don't, then you're just gonna miss out. Like seriously, this is nuts. I think this. I'm curious if you can have all 6 heroes doing this. I don't think you can, because you need 3 adjacent heroes. By 3 adjacent, I assume they mean 1 in front, 1 either side. It'd be great if the devs could actually confirm in the comments section whether that's the case, but I'm telling you guys, this is potentially an insane ability that's very, very strong, and I'm excited to see what this can do when I approach late game and see what I can do with this. So guys, stay tuned for the future, because we're going to be hopefully doing some of this probably in a few months' time once I've established myself more with a stronger team. Finally, if you're not happy with what you've done, for example, I did say Holy Word's good early game, you might want it late game, you can actually use these up here called reset injections, which are things you can generally accumulate as event rewards. I think you get one for free just for having a hero who's SS tier and has 5 copper stars, so you get that. And you can also just hold this around, and finally, when you're ready to reset, you can use this to basically just reset your tree using the reset button, which is actually behind me right now. If I just lift myself up, there you go, there's the reset button. So you can press the reset button, and that's going to reset all your stuff, give you your talent points back, and let you rebuild the tree, which is pretty nice. So hopefully that helped you with how to build an SS hero, and lets you know that you need to get a hero to gold 5 before you even consider going for an SS hero, and hopefully it showed you that you need to go to the biological cabin if you want to get an SS gene. Also, hopefully the breaking down of the talent tree is useful for those of you that have just unlocked an SS hero and you're not sure how to progress or where to take them, so hopefully this video has been pretty useful. Thanks to the developers of Angel Legion who have sponsored this video. Big shout out to you guys. If you guys haven't played this game or even haven't tried it, find a link down below in the description if you want to download this and give it a shot. We're going to be making content for this every week, so do stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button to catch more, and if you didn't catch any of my videos for Angel Legion, I'll link one here on the side of the screen if you want to go check that out too. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It's an absolute pleasure to bring you this content. Have a great week, and happy idling.